Hello, welcome. My name's Kurt. This is my fun quiz 227. I'm sure you've probably done one of my quizzes before, but if not, this is how it works. You grab yourself a pen or a pencil, you grab some paper, and you just jot down the answers to the questions. That's it, simple. I give you all the questions first, all the answers will come at the end. The whole quiz itself takes just over 30 minutes. So if you're ready, good luck and enjoy. This particular quiz, we have 6 rounds, 8 questions in each round, and your rounds are food and drink, literature, as always a connection round, what connects all the answers, sport, general knowledge, and ending up, again as usual, with some pictures for you. So if you're ready, let's begin with round number 1, food and drink. Question number 1. What anise flavoured liqueur is widely consumed in Greece? What anise flavoured liqueur is widely consumed in Greece? Question 2. Which Dutch beer is named after a river running through Amsterdam? Which Dutch beer is named after a river running through Amsterdam? Question 3. What vegetable is used in the making of schnapps? What vegetable is used in the making of schnapps? On to question 4. Which pastry is used to make baklava? Nice bit of dessert cake or pastry. Which pastry is used to make baklava? Number 5. Which Cypriot cheese is traditionally served fried or grilled? Which Cypriot cheese is traditionally served fried or grilled? Recently just come back from a holiday in Cyprus. It was hot. Question 6. What flavour is the icing on a Whitby bun? Have you had a Whitby bun? I've never had a Whitby bun, I'll tell you now. What flavour icing is on a Whitby bun? On to number 7. What is beef fillet cooked in puff pastry called? What is beef fillet cooked in puff pastry called? And number 8. What is couscous made from? What is couscous made from? I like a bit of couscous, especially when you spice it up. It's very good for you, very healthy-ish. Moving on to round 2 then, our literature round. Question number 1 here. Which author wrote both The War of the Worlds and The Time Machine in the late 19th century? Which author wrote both The War of the Worlds and The Time Machine in the late 19th century? Both books have been made into movies. Number 2. Which author created the character Jack Reacher? Which author created the character Jack Reacher. Quite partial to these books. I think I've read all of them, I think. Question number 3. Which television presenter, producer, novelist and comedian writes the popular Thursday Murder Club novels? Which television presenter, producer, novelist and comedian writes the popular Thursday Murder Club novels? My wife loves his books. Number 4. Whose autobiography is called Long Walk to Freedom? So whose autobiography is called A Long Walk to Freedom? Question 5. Which novel by Victor Hugo became a long-running musical? So question 5. Which novel by Victor Hugo became a long-running musical? Question number 6. Who wrote the tales on which the film The Jungle Book was based? Who wrote the tales on which the film The Jungle Book was based? Question number 7. The story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was written by which Scottish author back in 1886? So question 7. The story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was written by which Scottish author back in 1886? And your final question in this round, number 8, whose controversial memoir titled Spare was published in 2023? So whose controversial memoir titled Spare was published in 2023? That's your final question in this round. Moving on then to round 3 is our connection round. So what connects all the answers in this round? Question number 1. What word means to close a pair of curtains? So what word means to close a pair of curtains? Question 2. What first name links the actor who played Luke Skywalker and the professional quizzer nicknamed the Beast? So what first name links the actor who played Luke Skywalker and the professional quizzer nicknamed the Beast? Question 3. What word means to shape something on a lathe? So what word means to shape something on a lathe? And in this round, when you've got a connection, just check back through your answers. Make sure the words you've got are correct. They fit the connection. Question number 4. What is the opening shot in a game of snooker called? What is the opening shot in a game of snooker called? Question number 5. What term means to shut and sounds a bit like garments? So what term means to shut and sounds like a bit like garments? Don't overthink this one. Question 6. What word describes an aircraft's ascent during flight? So what word describes an aircraft's ascent during flight? And question 7. What would your blood pressure be if you suffered from hypotension? What would your blood pressure be if you suffered from hypotension? That is question 7, which hopefully has given you a connection. Because question 8, as always, is what connects the answers for questions 1 to 7. Hopefully you've managed to get something. Is it right? Well, we'll find out later. For now, we'll carry on with round number 4, which is a sport round. Question number 1. Over how many minutes is a rugby match played? Over how many minutes is a rugby match played? Question 2. How long is an Olympic swimming pool in meters? How long is an Olympic swimming pool in meters? Number 3. What number do you start at when playing a professional game of darts? If you're a darts fan, you'll know this. What number do you start at when playing a professional game of darts? Number 4. What term is used in tennis for a score at 40-40? So what term is used in tennis for a score at 40-40? Question 5. In which sport can you win the Davis Cup? In which sport can you win the Davis Cup? If you're a fan of this sport, obviously you'll know. If not, you may have to guess. Always worth a guess. Number 6. What is the object that hockey players send across the ice called? So what is the object that hockey players send across the ice called? Question 7. What was Muhammad Ali's real name? What was Muhammad Ali's real name? What was on his birth certificate? And number 8, to the nearest mile, over what distance is a marathon run? To the nearest mile, over what distance is a marathon run? It's a long way. I don't want to do it. Okay, we'll move on to round 5, general knowledge. Your first general knowledge question is, what is another name for a zucchini? What is another name for a zucchini? Question 2. What is the name of a small hat attached to the head with a comb or band? So what is the name of a small hat that is attached to the head with a comb or band? Number 3. Which car manufacturer made the models called Zoe, Twingo and Twizy? Which car manufacturer made models called Zoe, Twingo and Twizy? On to number 4. In Greek mythology, who is king of the gods? So in Greek mythology, who is king of the gods? Number 5. Flamboyance is a term that describes a group of which creature? Is it peacocks, flamingos or butterflies? Flamboyance is a term that describes a group of which creature? Peacocks, flamingos or butterflies? Choice of 3. If you're not quite sure, have a go. Number 6. Which author wrote Pride and Prejudice? So question 6. Which author wrote Pride and Prejudice? On to number 7. Who painted The Last Supper? Who painted The Last Supper? Worth a few bob now. And your final question in this round, what is the name of Mickey Mouse's dog? So question 8, what is the name of Mickey Mouse's dog? On to our final round then, your pictures. Here is your first one. What is this the logo for? I'm sure you've seen it plenty and plenty of times. What is this the logo for? Question 2. What is this the logo for? What is this the logo for? Get quite a few pictures for my quiz from here. Question 3. Which drink bottle would you see this logo on? Which drink bottle would you see this logo on? Question 4. What food company uses this logo? What food company uses this logo? Again, I'm sure you've seen it plenty of times. On to number 5. What communications company uses this particular logo? So what communications company uses this logo? On to number 6. Which car company is this the logo for? Which car company is this the logo for? Obviously very easy if you own one of these. Number 7. What clothing company is this the logo for? So question 7. What clothing company is this the logo for? And on to question number 8. Which bank uses this logo? Looks like a witch's hat. Which bank uses this logo? That's it. That's your final picture question, and that's your final quiz question. So all done. Have you managed to answer everything? I hope you have, even if you've had to guess, but hey, a guess is always a good option. Anyway, let's go through the answers for you, put you out your misery, and let's see how you've got on. So we start back with our food and drink round. Question number 1. What anise flavoured liqueur is widely consumed in Greece? It is ouzo. Number 2. Which Dutch beer is named after a river running through Amsterdam? It's Amstel. The river Amstel runs through Amsterdam. Question 3. What vegetable is used in the making of schnapps? Potatoes are used. Question 4. Which pastry is used to make baklava? It's phyllo pastry. Makes a lovely little dessert. Number 5. Which Cypriot cheese is traditionally served fried or grilled? It's halloumi. Question 6. What flavour is the icing on a Whitby bun? Would you believe it's lemon? Lemon flavour. Number 7. What is beef fillet cooked in puff pastry called? It is called beef Wellington. And number 8. What is couscous made from? I'd accept either semolina or durum wheat. It's one or the other, durum wheat or semolina. Round 2 then, your literature round. Question 1. Which author wrote both The War of the Worlds and The Time Machine in the late 19th century? It was H.G. Wells. Number 2. Which author created the character Jack Reacher? That is Lee Childs. Written loads of books now. Number 3. Which television presenter, producer, novelist and comedian writes the popular Thursday Murder Club novels? It is Richard Osman. On to number 4. Whose autobiography is called Long Walk to Freedom? It is Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for several years, of course. Number 5. Which novel by Victor Hugo became a long-running musical? It is Les Miserables. And number 6. Who wrote the tales on which the film The Jungle Book was based? Rudyard Kipling wrote them. Number 7. The story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was written by which Scottish author in 1886? It was Robert Louis Stevenson. He wrote that. And number 8. Whose controversial memoir titled Spare was published in 2023? It was Prince Harry. Very controversial. On to our connection round then. How did we get on here? Question 1. What word means to close a pair of curtains? It's draw. Draw the curtains. Number 2. What first name links the actor who played Luke Skywalker and the professional quizzer nicknamed The Beast? It is Mark. So Mark Hamill and Mark Levett. Question 3. What word means to shape something on a lathe? It's turn. You turn things on a lathe. Number 4. What is the opening shot in a game of snooker called? It's a break. Number 5. What term means to shut and sounds a bit like garments? It's close, which I'm sure you've got in the end when you thought about it. Number 6. What word describes an aircraft's ascent during flight? It's climb. An aircraft climbs. Number 7. What would your blood pressure be if you suffered from hypotension? It would be low. You would have low blood pressure. And number 8. What connects the answers for questions 1 to 7? The connection is down. Did you get it? I hope you did. Well done if you did. Okay, let's move on to round 4, which is sport. Question 1. Over how many minutes is a rugby match played? It's played over 80 minutes. Question 2. How long is an Olympic swimming pool in meters? It's 50 meters, which is about half the length of a football pitch-ish. Question 3. What number do you start at when playing a professional game of darts? You start at 501. Number 4. What term is used in tennis for a score at 40-40? 40-40 is known as deuce. Number 5. In which sport can you win the Davis Cup? You can win it in tennis. If you're into your tennis, you'll know that. Question 6. What is the object that hockey players send across the ice called? It's a puck. Number 7. What was Muhammad Ali's real name? His real name was Cassius Clay. Number 8. To the nearest mile, over what distance is a marathon run? It is 26 miles. You won't catch me doing that. No way. Okay, move on to general knowledge round. Round 5. Question 1. What is another name for a zucchini? It is a courgette. Americans call them zucchinis. Number 2. What is the name of a small hat attached to the head with a comb or band? It's a fascinator. See lots at weddings and at horse racing events. Number 3. Which car manufacturer made models called Zoe, Twingo and Twizy? It was Renault. Number 4. In Greek mythology, who is the king of the gods? Zeus is the king of the gods. He is the head honcho. Number 5. Flamboyance is a term that describes a group of which creature? It's flamingo. Flamboyance of flamingos. And number 6. Which author wrote Pride and Prejudice? It was Jane Austen. Jane Austen. Number 7. Who painted The Last Supper? It was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. It's worth a fortune now, absolute fortune. And number 8. What is the name of Mickey Mouse's dog? It is Pluto. Pluto. On to our final round then, your pictures round. Question number 1. What is this the logo for? It is Windows, Microsoft Windows, of course. Number 2. What is this the logo for? It's Pinterest. The crafty sort of site. Number 3. What drink bottle would you see this logo on? Johnnie Walker. Johnnie Walker whiskey. Number 4. What food company uses this logo? It is the logo for Subway. Number 5. What communications company uses this particular logo? It's BT, British Telecom. And number 6. Which car company is this the logo for? It's for, I'll say, Hyundai. But if you watch the latest adverts, they tell you that's not how you pronounce it. So, anyway, Hyundai. Number 7, which clothing company is this the logo for? That is Lacoste. And finally, number 8, which bank uses this logo? It is Santander. Santander Bank. So well done if you've got that. Well, there you are. All your answers are now in. I hope you've got lots of ticks, not many crosses, and you're feeling really pleased with yourself. But at the end of the day, it's a fun quiz, so it doesn't really matter. Having fun is what counts. So yeah, that's it. Another of my quizzes has just flown by. So thank you for joining me for this particular one. Thank you for taking part. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please share it and try another one. I've got loads on YouTube. And if you want to let me know anything about this or any other quiz you've done, please do so. But yeah, that's it. So thank you once again. And from me for now, I'll just say goodbye.